Hey guys, and welcome to this edition of Scruff's Garage. Working on my 1999 F250, removing the dash bezel. I'm working on a radio install and installing a trailer brake controller and a number of things. This process would apply to a number of years, not just the 99 of course. They're all pretty much the same up through maybe 07, something like that. Step one, you got to get your factory radio removed. To get the factory radio out, they come out with these U-shaped hooks. They go in, kind of hook on both sides, and you can pull the factory radio out. If you have an aftermarket radio, typically called a DIN style, there are DIN removal tools, but essentially it's a flat tool that slides in down the side and presses in on these tabs on the side. If you don't have the removal tool, as I didn't, you can use a butter knife or two butter knives, one on each side. Slide it in, kind of press, kind of angle the knife so it pushes in on that tab, and then you can pull the radio out. Mine was still a bit of a challenge. Mine had this support bracket on the back of it that slid onto that rail there. Supports the back of the radio, but it made it very difficult getting the radio to slide out. Obviously unplug speaker connectors, and you'll typically have a connection for the antenna as well. Once you've got that radio out, you really have to do that first, because if you can see there and there are two 7mm screws that have to come out. Those are the only two screws that hold in that dash bezel. The rest of it are push clips. So if we go over here to the dash, you see they have these little push clips on them. Typically you'll start over here on the side. The side trim piece goes on the same way. Has these little friction clips. You can pop that out. That gives you some leverage to get behind the side. You also have the headlight connection. I'll talk about that separately here in just a second. But as far as electrical connections, you'll have two over here. If you have a four-wheel drive, or even if you don't, you'll have this connector on a non-four-wheel drive, because mine's rear-wheel drive. This is just into a dummy plug, just to keep the electrical connector from rattling around. And then obviously you have two connectors for the headlight switch. When you're removing the headlight switch from the dash bezel, don't pry on this face. This face isn't how it comes out. And if you pry too hard, you can crack it and it'll pop off, but it'll leave the switch housing in place. You'll see a lot of these that are damaged that way. Mine was. I had to super glue it back on. It's held in. If you can see, there's this kind of spring-loaded clip on the side. The correct way of getting that out, so if you turn to the driving lights, then pull out, that will allow you to get a small flathead screwdriver under the head of the knob. And then if you gently pry up, the knob comes off. If you turn the knob 180 degrees and put it back on, snap it into place, and then if you press in, see if you can, hopefully you can see. Now when you press in, see how it pulls that tab in? And that allows the whole switch to come out. Right, then you can flip your switch back around, your knob. There you go. So that's how that's the proper way of taking out that headlight bezel.